Greetings and welcome back, gentles and ladiesmen, to another rip-snorting episode of Exo Plays Spyro Season of Ice. I'm Exo Paradigm Gamer, and we are here at the Speedway sections of the GBA games, or rather Season of Ice exclusively. So we're actually going to be here for quite a while because, okay. Beat the curse and as always, I have to do my Sparks voice, which is not at all annoying. But yes, so hoops. So, okay, so speedways work a little bit differently in Spyro Season of Ice than they did in the 3D games. So obviously, we can't do them the same way. So what it instead becomes, and kind of an interesting idea, is they become these forward-facing rail shooter sections a la Star Fox. We are flying around and shooting at enemies and stuff, and obviously the more enemies we hit, that increases our, specifically the yellow ones. You have to hit the yellow ones or it doesn't increase your time. The blue ones drop gems, so you want to go after them first. Highly recommend going for gems first in these sections and then worrying about actually beating the level after that, because if you miss a gem, you have to replay the entire level as it is, so definitely not worth missing them. Yeah, and this can be kind of annoying, admittedly, because it, you know, and this was probably these levels were probably the most annoying to replay during my practice playthrough when I missed those two guys, so now I got to replay the entire level just for them. So that's just how it works. And you know, the thing is that once you kill these gem guys, they drop time instead. So it means that I'm probably not gonna be able to beat the boss with the time that they give you. But thankfully this first speedway section is pretty easy, but you know, regardless. The later ones can get really tough, like Ice Age Speedway, the second one took me like 1 billion years to beat. And as you can see, we only have 9 seconds to beat this Fire Dragon boss, ripped straight out of Fireworks Factory from the third game. And yeah, so that's how it works. It does very much reflect kind of the formula of the old Speedway sections, in that, you know, you have all of this, and that you have kind of like 4 set pieces that are in a set order, and then you have to clear them all to get enough time to make it to the end, you know? I guess the difference is just that now we have a boss to fight. So yeah, so now we'll have another shot at getting those gems we missed. And defeating the boss. And, you know, like I said, it is much easier to replay this when you've played it recently, so yeah. But take a look at that Mode 7, Faux 7 we'll call it, because not really Mode 7, and I'm sure someone who actually knows what it is was gonna talk my ear off about it. Basically a 3D plane at the bottom of the screen. It looks really good. Like, for GBA, this is pretty impressive looking, I think. And I do think that in terms of, you know, working with technical limitations to bring back a familiar feature of old Spyro games, I think they did a pretty good job with this. Because it feels like a speedway, like it's still kind of a time attack thing where you have to get through obstacles. You know, that's just kind of done in a different way to suit the new hardware. So kudos to Digital Eclipse. They did a really good job with this game, in my opinion. I'm sorry, with this game mode specifically. Because, as we know, I have vehement criticisms of the main gameplay that I've gone over multiple times, so you already know what they are. Okay, so now we just gotta kill these guys, and we should be all set. Alright, yes, now we're in the asteroid field, and this time, since I'm not looking for gems, I can just kind of go all out. The ones that are breakable give you time, so you definitely want to go for them. There will be a hard mode that we'll have to play after this one, where time is much more limited and you cannot get the gems. So I highly recommend getting as much time as you can and making sure that you practice up for that, so that when you go fight the boss, it'll make all that much easier for you. And big tip for bosses, that will make them so much easier. That's odd. I feel like I missed some gems in some level. But I digress. Alright, did I get them all? I guess we'll find out in a second. Let me double check. Yes, we got them all. So all we have to do now is beat the hard mode. So hard mode, like I said, same level, except you start out with less time, which means you have less time to defeat the boss, and it means that you need all the time you can get from the actual obstacles themselves. So yeah, definitely make sure you're keeping up with that. And so for the main levels, I recommend holding down the button, because that's just, I don't know, it just works better. I don't feel like the extra rate of fire makes that much of a difference, but when you're fighting the bosses in hard mode, especially the second boss in Ice Age Speedway, I find that you need to mash the button to kill the later bosses in time in hard mode. Otherwise, you will not get enough points to keep yourself going, so definitely hold down during the main level, and obviously if you get hit, you lose time, but it's just like, you only lose like a second, so it doesn't really matter. And this guy won't fucking die. And the deal with these flying guys that kind of go fly in a formation is that even if they don't give you points, which some of them won't in later stages, you want to kill them quickly so that the next batch will spawn, so that you can move on. And they will go in preset flight patterns as far as I know, so yeah. That's pretty much it for speedways. This is how they work. I don't know, maybe for the later ones I'll just kind of do a fast forward thing, because you know, it's like not much to talk about after the first round of going through them, and later on I'll probably end up having to replay them multiple times for gems and whatnot, so yeah. So like I said, mash that B button when you're fighting the bosses. It'll make them go by so much faster. Like, look at it, he's already down to a couple of strands. Like, if you hold it, it goes at like half the rate, which is fine for the main levels, but for the bosses, you need to kill them quickly, especially with the limited time you've got in the hard mode, so yeah. I'm making this look easy because I played this yesterday, so just remember that. But thankfully, we have finished off this level. So we can return to the Autumn Fairy realms, and with that, we're done. We're done with the Autumn worlds in Season of Ice. Went by pretty damn quickly, I must say, like about an hour, which is not bad. So yeah. So I guess all there is to do is move on to the next batch of levels, if I can find them. Where the hell is Bianca? And that's something that's annoying about these fairy realms, is I do appreciate not being able to die and whatnot, but if you go so much as to the edge of a platform rather than into the water, that's what makes you pop up.
You're doing great, Spyro! You've rescued enough fairies to help me repair the portal! Now you'll be able to explore the next part of the fairy world, while I keep searching for the spell book.
So, are you guys ready for some more story?
Ugh, this spell book is worthless. Look what it did to me. I've got 2 heads and 4 headaches. Those Rhinox better bring me enough fairies so I can prepare the magic potion to get rid of this extra head.
So that is our big bad, Grendor. Or at least I'm pretty sure they showed his name there, but yeah, he is the big bad controlling the Rhinox in this game. And with that, we are now in the Winter Fairy Home. Next batch of worlds.
You are sure doing a great job against those Rhinox, Spyro!
And unlike the dragons from Spyro 1, these guys don't really have much interesting to say. Like I keep saying this, but I swear, just having played this yesterday makes these levels so much easier to play and so much less mazy. So I guess this game does get better on repeat playthroughs if you play it close enough together. So if you're looking for something that's kind of fun to speedrun and get good at, I guess there's something here for you. Especially since the game kind of, you know, encourages you not to die as it is. If you're a hardcore speedrunner, then you might get something out of this, I don't know. You know, personally, I have a lot more fun playing the 3 console games. And you know, even comparing this to Enter the Dragonfly, you know, this game is a hell of a lot less glitchy than, like, there is one big glitch I'll show off later, but, and I ran into this one glitch in this one level where I jumped against a wall and rocketed upwards. That was pretty weird, but, you know, for the most part, this game is pretty technically competent, you know, for GBA. Not a lot of glitches and whatnot.
Spyro, have you heard anything about a wizard Rhinoc named Grendor? I think he may have something to do with all the fairies being frozen.
And now I've lost my train of thought. I guess it doesn't matter that much. I just realized that I set the sample rate on the audio in this part to 48 instead of 44.1. Not that that means anything to most of you guys, but damn. GBA is in 44.1, but then again, I'm going to be uploading this in 48 anyway, because that's what my voice is recorded in, so... I was good. That conversion was going to happen some sooner or later, Michael, so get over it. And once again, when you're in these fairy homes, you don't have to worry about dying, because the magic will send you right back, so that's always swell. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, it's...
Sure was getting chilly in there. Thanks.
Yeah, these fairies really don't have anything interesting to say, do they? Oh, one thing I really should mention. You can consider this like there are those 3 other criticisms that carry over throughout the entire game. But... Oh, Spyro, is our little friend Sparks up for another challenge against those pesky little insects? He did quite nicely the last time. Surprising for such a puny little thing. Will cost you a gem or 2, you know. Yeah, we're not ready to go there yet. Or rather, I don't want to play that stage yet. But I'm always glad to see Moneybags being an asshole. That's always the most fun part. It means that unlike Enter the Dragonfly, gems actually mean something in this game beyond getting the ending. Because if you don't remember the end of the Enter the Dragonfly playthrough, you need all of the dragonflies and all of the gems to see the ending of the game. I'm not kidding. Which is, and you know, kind of related to that, the problem that this game has that's arguably worse is that in order to fight the final boss...
Oops! Thanks again, Spyro!
Is that like an oops I did it again joke? I guess this game came out around that time, so it wouldn't be too surprising. These devs do seem like they have some sense of humor. But in order to fight the final boss in Spyro Season of Ice, in order to fight Grendor, you are expected to free every single fairy. That's right, this game has Super Princess Peach Syndrome, where you are expected to do all of the side quests. You do not have to get all of the gems. You only need to get enough gems to open up those Sparks levels. That's pretty much all you need them for. I'm pretty sure maybe you need them all to get the secret unlockable. I don't know. Someone in the comments probably knows and will tell me. And we'll comment about it regardless of whether I correct myself or not. So it's just, I have no incentive to be correct in the moment, is my point. But yeah. But yeah, that is a thing. And to me, that's not a problem, because I'm gonna 100% this game either way, because that's just how I am. But if you are not the completionist type and you got through the original Spyro trilogy, you know, just grabbing whatever dragons or orbs here and there, and just kind of getting by, and you beat the game at any you did any percent run, basically. You were gonna be in for a rude awakening if you come and play this game. Because it's like, at least, you know, Enter the Dragonfly had no ending if you didn't 100% it, but at least you could fight the final boss, you know? Like I said, I don't care because I was gonna play this game that way anyway, but, you know, if you are less of a completionist type, if you're the type to kind of just play collectathons more casually, you could be in for some shit. I guess this is the one place I haven't been to yet. And I got all the gems, and that should be the last ice crystal. Free that lady over there.
Thanks, Spyro!
And when we talk to Bianca, all she'll say is that we need more fairies to open the gate. So it's pretty much all she does in this game is tell you that is open portals for you when you have enough fairies. Which is, you know, fine and whatnot, but still. But yeah. So we're already done with this level. And we have a few minutes left, so let's go start up a new level. Panda Gardens. Which, if you have played Bamboo Terrace from Spyro 3, will look familiar to you. Because these later Spyro games just kind of, you know, later Spyro and Crash games just kind of aped off of the old ones. Regardless, so yeah, this is kind of like Bamboo Terrace 2.0.
Hi, Spyro. If you're going into the gardens, you might want to watch out for Rhinox. A bunch of them showed up this afternoon and they've been disturbing my meditation for hours.
I can't do a very good impression of the pandas from Spyro 3, so that was the best I could do, folks. But once again, another thing with this game is that it's prone to reusing enemies, and you will see that later on. Is that there are these soldier Rhinox who will run around and try to charge you, and then there are these guys who jump around and try to land on you. Those guys will show up in a later level. So that's just. I don't know, I guess I would be surprised if this game was a little rushed, you know, honestly, considering some of the kind of baffling design choices and whatnot, you know, regardless. But yes, that's an example of the L button camera feature showing its usefulness. So like I said, you know, like, I don't hate Season of Ice. Like, I enjoy quite a bit of it, actually. It's just like those 3, 4, 5 things that consistently rear their ugly head and make it an overall lesser experience because of it.
There's a thief over there, Spyro, and he took my box of incense. Catch him for me, please.
Yes, I guess we've got nothing better to do. Alright, so I got lucky with that thief in Market Mesa. This guy's gonna be a much bigger problem. Like, trying to chase guys around in isometric 2D when you can barely see where you're going, and charging into anything knocks you backwards and stuns you for 10 minutes. Not an easy feat.
Thank you, Spyro, but that's not my box of incense. Maybe I left it in the sauna.
You rescued Jenny. Alright, now I don't have to do that later. Thankfully, I didn't die. There's one thief mission that's really annoying and easy to die on, so... Oh, we lucked out on that one. And thankfully, they are indeed the classic blue thieves from Spyro 1, so if you missed them, good news, they're back. They're always one of the most iconic Spyro things, so I appreciated seeing them again. And you might have noticed that there was no boss coming into this world. That's because there are only 2 bosses in this game, and technically there's really only 1. But we'll talk more about that when we fight the first phase, let's say. And I did get a little lazy with the border on that one, because I didn't feel like playing through half of the game just to get you guys a border. But then again, I could probably grab it from this playthrough even. Let's see. There, fella. One thing that is nice is that Spyro's breath will reach over platforms. So if you jump up high enough to face an enemy, you can flame them, which is very helpful feature indeed. And you do need to get on higher ground in order to reach this platform. And I cannot get over how much easier this game is after having done a practice playthrough. Like, it felt like some of these levels took me quite a bit longer than this to play on just to play yesterday, and then now that I played them once and know how the level is laid out, it's just so much easier. Like, practicing for the other Spyro games, it felt like it barely made a difference. But this one, woo.
Thanks for the rescue, Spyro!
There we go. Alright, so we are done with this, and once again, if you want, you could play this game with the map feature. It will make your life all so much easier. By the way, isn't this level pretty? And, yeah, so it looks like we are out of time, my lovelies. So, till then, I'm EXO, and I'll see you guys next time.